coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
I have no doubts that Eric will continue to serve Missouri well in his new role as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer.
That was Governor Mike Parson this morning. He named fellow Republican State Treasurer Eric Schmitt as the state's next Attorney General. Good afternoon, I'm Monica Harkins. Schmitt will replace Senator-elect Josh Hawley. Parson said he wanted to appoint someone who had already been through the thoroughly vetted by the people of Missouri through an election. KOMU 8's Caitlin McCarthy was in Jefferson City for the announcement and joins us live.
Monica, Schmitt's appointment leaves yet another vacancy for his elected statewide office for Parsons to fill. Nearly half of Missouri's elected statewide offices have been appointed rather than elected to their seats. Parsons says Josh Hawley plans to resign when he officially takes office of senator in early January. Schmitt says the two will sit down and discuss the workings of the office of Attorney General. He was admitted to the Missouri bar in 2000 and says he will treat all Missourians equal under law.
What an incredible honor it is to be named the attorney for the people of Missouri. And I promise to fight each and every day so the next generation of Missourians have the same opportunities I've enjoyed in the greatest country on earth.
Eric Schmitt will officially take over office of Attorney General on January 3rd. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Caitlin McCarthy, KOMU 8 News.
Thank you, Caitlin. In Washington, Congress gets back to work today with less than a month to avoid a government shutdown and election results still up in the air. Tracy Potts has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Congress is back today with a hard deadline, December 7th. President Trump claims without proof that those ballots are massively infected and an honest vote count is no longer possible.
Arizona has resolved its outstanding Senate race. The Democrat Kristen Sinema is going to the Capitol, but governor races in Florida and Georgia remain undecided. President Trump today attacked his French counterpart in a series of tweets that underscored how much the once friendly ties between the two leaders have soured. In 5 posts sent during his trip to Paris, Trump blasted the key U.S. ally over its occupation by Nazi Germany in World War II, its wine industry, and French President Emmanuel Macron's approval ratings. A key advisor to Macron said the French president told Trump that France is not about to make a choice between a European defense system and a multilateral approach. CNN is suing the White House, claiming that banning reporter Jim Acosta violates the Constitution. The lawsuit claims banning Acosta violates the constitutional rights to freedom of the press and due process. The Secret Service took away Acosta's White House pass last Wednesday after a heated exchange during a news conference. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said in a statement, "This is just more grandstanding from CNN, and we will vigorously defend against the lawsuit." Several thousand Central American migrants heading for the U.S. border arrived in the western Mexico city of Guadalajara yesterday, making a month since their trek began. Many of them boarded waiting buses to get to the shelter where they received food and free internet to contact their families. The migrants are mostly families from Honduras. The Mexican government said yesterday it had issued 2,700 temporary visas to individuals and families to cover them during the 45-day application process for more permanent status. After running a year-long competition in 238 bids, Amazon announced it has chosen New York and Virginia to split duty as its second headquarters. The development projects promise to bring the cities a giant infusion of high-paying jobs and tax revenue. But the new locations are almost certain to draw fire from critics concerned about their impact on infrastructure and property values. The search began in September 2017 when Amazon announced it would start accepting proposals for what quickly became known as HQ2. Airports, airplanes, and more will be overcrowded this Thanksgiving season more than ever. The TSA and airlines expect a 5 to 6% increase in passengers traveling this Thanksgiving over 2017. That means flyers will have to be more prepared and patient. The Sunday after Thanksgiving will be the holiday's busiest travel day, but government and industry officials say they're prepared for big passenger loads with more staff and new technology.
We have additional staff at all our checkpoints and throughout our airports. We have additional canine teams And has been mentioned, we have new technology that passengers will see as they go through airports around the country.
The TSA advises passengers to visit tsa.gov to review what they're allowed to pack to keep those security lines moving. Hamas and other Gaza militant groups say they have accepted an Egyptian-brokered ceasefire. This comes after those groups launched hundreds of rockets into Israel over the past 24 hours. There was no immediate word from Israel on whether it had accepted a deal to halt the heaviest exchange of fire with Gaza's Hamas rulers since a 2014 war. Just an hour before the militants made their declaration, the Israeli Security Cabinet said it had ordered the military to continue operations as needed following a 6-hour meeting. Back in Missouri today, Columbia's Boys and Girls Clubs will unveil a newly renovated room and bus to promote STEM education. The STEM room has a 3D printer, virtual reality headsets, robots, and more. The STEM bus is a mobile classroom that can bring the club's tech devices to parks, schools, neighborhoods, and other nonprofits. The executive director says the bus gives kids more access to after-school programs.
What we often see is that kids can't always get to after-school programs. Barriers such as access or transportation or affordability prevents kids from having opportunities.
The executive director says the room and bus project cost around $100,000. The club got funding from a 21st Century Community Learning Center grant as well as from private donors. The American Heart Association recently updated its guidelines on physical activity for the first time in a decade. The guidelines give recommendations for kids and adults on ways to be more active. The new guidelines focus on 3 main priorities: move more, sit less, and get kids active as young as 3 years old. According to the study, only 20% of Americans are getting enough exercise. Dr. Brian Bostock says even exercise in the minutes is good for you.
Even short bouts of exercise, we used to say you needed to exercise for at least 10 minutes. We now know from some studies that even shorter bursts, like going up a flight of stairs, can have benefits for your health short term and then also long term as you continue to reinforce that habit and do more activity.
Bostick says for younger kids, just daily routines done by themselves forms the habit for healthy decisions down the road. For older adults, he says exercises like yoga and aerobics are very beneficial. And moving on, we had some snow yesterday, and it's still on the ground today.
Yeah.
What can we expect, Tim?
Well, right now it's just very cold outside. Hopefully the sunshine is helping warm things up a bit. Right now temperatures are still stuck in the 20s. It feels more like a January day outside.
It definitely does.
It's brutally cold out there. Today I have a look at your forecast, and I'll also have a look at a warm-up that's coming through the later part of this week, and maybe some more winter weather on the way. I'll let you know.
Can't tell much snow from this live look at Lake of the Ozarks, but we'll have more after this break. KOMU 8 News at noon. We'll be back after this.
All right, welcome back. Well, temperatures outside are in the mid-20s now. We're at 25 degrees at Jefferson City, 24 in Columbia. We're looking over the Sedalia area. KOMU 8 News at noon. We'll be right back.
A California woman is sharing her experience of evacuating in the middle of a raging wildfire. Her dramatic video of it has been viewed millions of times online. Steve Large talked to her about her life-changing drive to safety.
The heart-pounding video shows flames surrounding Bryn Parrott Chatfield's SUV.
I think all of Paradise has that sense of community because we all did this together and we understand what others have gone through.
Hell.
Yeah. Yes.
The Chatfields are currently staying in a nearby area with more families who also lost homes. They have not been allowed back into Paradise to see what remains of their house. You're taking a live look over Jefferson City. KOMU 8 News at noon. We'll be back after this short break. There's a good chance you're already drinking out of biodegradable paper straws, but as Keely Chalmers reports, pretty soon you may be drinking your soda or beer out of a paper bottle too.
This is a vibe table, so it'll just take the carton and shake it.
A sustainable and renewable option to something many of us buy and toss every day.
An estimated 480 billion plastic bottles are produced every year, and while some are recycled, many end up in our landfills. Replacing these plastic bottles with a fiber-based bottle could be an important step towards sustainability. And now we'll go over to today's headlines.
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha Bowers with today's Red Carpet Report. And that's it for your Red Carpet Report.
Now here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News first at 5. Parents at a local elementary school are concerned about how administration handled a child's injury. Hear from the parents and what the school board had to say. That's coming up at 5.
And for the rest of this afternoon, it's getting warmer outside, but not warm enough to start melting all the snow and ice. Unfortunately, temperatures are going to hold below the freezing mark today. I have highs around, let's say around 31. Wind chills currently, though, are still near 14 degrees outside. It's a little breezy today. That wind chill starts to get a little bit better through the afternoon. I have highs near 31. The wind will start to relax this evening. It does get cold tonight, so unfortunately all of the snow melt and the ice melt outside. It's going to refreeze tonight with that low near 16 degrees, but through the rest of the week and into the weekend, looks like we're back into the 30s, then 40s, and even up to near 53 for Friday. Let's watch for a storm system possibly over the weekend where we could get another dusting of snow.
Pokemon Go fans, listen to this. A pensioned 7-year-old man from Taiwan has gone viral on the internet for playing the game with 15 phones attached to his bicycle. The Pokemon grandpa has been playing since 2016. He first learned about the game from his grandson. He says he spends about an average of $300 a month to buy virtual currencies in the game, and his gear costs more than $4,800. Wow. Chen says that the main motivation for him to play the game now is to meet a bunch of Pokemon Go pals.
Pokepals. If you've ever played the game, Pokemaniacs was one of the, that's my nerd for you today.
Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us, everyone.